Hi everyone. Thanks so much for joining in with the live chat and registering in advance. My name is Tom Barnes, and tonight, this afternoon, me, Profoto and AJ's are all going to be here in the chat, ready to answer any questions you've got as we go through and watch a pre-recorded behind the scenes of a shoot with me in an incredibly cold part of Woodland. So if you've got any questions whatsoever, please just ask them wherever the chat window is. I'm already there, ready and waiting to answer any questions. So please, even if you think they're the weirdest, silliest questions ever, no question too small. Please ask away. I'm here very much to answer whatever questions you've got. So hope you enjoy the video, and please ask loads of questions. My fingers want to be on fire typing by the end of the video. So really hope you enjoy it, and let me know what you think. Hi guys. It's very cold. Okay, so welcome to the AJ's versus Tom Barnes live stream. We are as a team going to talk you through what we're doing today. We are photographing the wonderful Tasha, who's a professional ballerina. We are going to be photographing her over there on that tree stump. But before, she's obviously staying warm in the car, staying cold in the car, she's staying warm in the car. And while we're all here freezing up obstacles, we thought we would kind of talk you through the kit, run you through how we've got it all set up and why we've done what we have. So for those of you who don't know me, my name's Tom Barnes. I'm a portrait photographer, and my work has been in a few places. I think I'm trying to be modest. It's been, I've done some stuff. I've been shopping with AJ's actually for years and years and years. Actually, I've got to say those guys really do go above and beyond. If I need something urgently, I know that they are going to be the people. If I can get in at 29 minutes past 5, which I'm not recommending you do this, but they will run out and chase the delivery driver to make sure I get it next day, sort of thing. So, they've helped save my chops, quite a few times. So let's talk about it. And by the way, apologies, this was going to be a live shoot, but because of COVID and the getting darker earlier and me really wanting to shoot out on location, we have decided to kind of do it in as live a take as possible. So if you look down here or there or here, wherever the live chat is, I am in the live chat and I'm just about to say hi. And I'm here to answer any questions you've got at all about any of this stuff or anything else really. Just fire away. So let's go for a bit of a walk, and I'm going to walk you around how we have everything set up. Now, since the beginning of my career, I've been a Profoto user. Have just always used it. There were a couple of flash brands I bought in the very early days when money was less tight, or more tight even. Well, COVID slipped for you there. I would break them, or they would go down on set, and stuff like that, and it was really unfortunate. So I think when I started using Profoto back when I was about 19, so quite a while now, and it's just been the most reliable kit I've ever had. I've never had anything go wrong. There was at one time actually where a light did get broken in South Sudan when I was living in a refugee camp, but it was my fault because I leant it against a building in 45-degree heat and it dropped about 15 foot onto concrete. I'll take that one. But other than that, the Profoto stuff has been pretty bulletproof. So throughout my career, I'm still as clumsy as I ever was, but I, for years and years and years, was using the Profoto packs and heads. So I'd use the 7B or the B2s or the B3s, and they were great, but they were big, heavy, and really, really powerful, but really big and heavy. And actually, do you need that much power most of the time? Probably not. So I, years ago, bought the B1Xs. Now, the B1Xs were revolutionary for me at the time because it was basically like having an all-in-one monoblock. Well, it was having an all-in-one monoblock studio light, but with a battery built into it out on location. And I loved how small it was, and I loved how compact it was, and how suddenly, instead of, I could have 4 of these lights in one case, whereas that would normally have been 3 or 4 cases with the bigger packs and head system. So for me, it was a bit of a game changer. So when Profoto announced the B10s and the B10 Pluses, I was all over it because, you know, these things now are so impossibly small and so great and powerful, and they still accept all the same modifiers. I was just like, well, it's a no-brainer, right? Now, instead of the 2 cases that I had all the B1s in, I've got everything in 1 case. So actually, before I kind of talk you through this kit, we'll come over to the case. Sorry, Brendan, I know it's a careful. By the way, we've got the wonderful Brendan who's filming me today and the wonderful Sam who's assisting. And so this is now my main lighting case. So I've got 3 B10 Pluses, well actually sorry, 2 B10 Pluses and a B10 that live in this case. And then in my rucksack, in my camera bag in here, I have another B10 Plus that lives in the, let's have a look. I have another B10 Plus that lives in this slot here down at the bottom. And so that means actually if I get called out to go and do a simple editorial or something like that, and I can just grab this bag and this bag, which has a couple of modifiers in, and that's everything. You know, literally a rucksack and a stand bag, and that is me gone to a more straightforward job. A shoot like this though, however, we, you know, want a bit more of a complex lighting setup. So we're going to be using 3 B10 Pluses and 1 B10. We've got the OCF Magnums, we've got an RFI 3-foot on the front, and then we've got one of the OCF Beauty dishes just here. I, over time, have become just moving everything over to the OCF kit because it's so light and small. Sam, where's the OCF white? Is it in here? Can you just chuck it? Well, there we go, perfect. So this, you know, this is now how small the beauty dish is, which for me is ludicrous because that now easily fits in the pocket on the rucksack. It chucks in a bag, easy days really. It's, you know, it's the B10 and the OCF line have made my life actually easier. I can fit more in the cases. I have less cases now. I know this looks like a lot of cases, but I've actually got video kit out on this one as well. So actually, mainly, I bring out 1, 2, 3, 4 in a rucksack and some stands, which, considering I used to come out to shoots with like 15 cases, I'm quite happy with that. Saves my back as well, so that's good. My chiropractor though, not so happy. He gets less billing. So, where should we start? I am going to talk you through how, sorry, by the way, it's really cold here. I can't even begin to tell you. So it's about 3 degrees and then the wind chill is making it minus temperatures. So these guys are all kind of very sensibly wearing proper kit and I haven't. But let's talk about the kit at the back. So let's go to this one because it's going to be easiest. So over here we have got one of the little B10s, which actually, you know, I'll take this down and I'll show you how small this thing is. It is impossibly small. So we got one of the beautiful Magnums, but this is how small the lights are. You know, the Pro heads used to be bigger than this and probably not weighed off, like not far off the same. So to be able to have a little 250 watt light on it, on something so small, for me is amazing. Now, these also use the air system, which I'm a huge fan of. And for those of you who don't know, that is basically like a digital system where you are able to control the lights, the powers, the modeling light. You can turn the lights on and off and stuff like that. And so for me, it's, you know, it's an amazingly helpful feature. So I now, when I'm shooting in my one place, if Sam goes, oh, you know, maybe that needs to come up, or if I think it's too hot, I can do it all now from the camera, and I don't have to worry about coming up, because, you know, I used to have to come up and change the powers manually and do all of that stuff, and actually it just speeds everything up. It's pretty good. I don't use this feature, but I know the B10 range use something called AirX. So it still works with the TTL remotes and stuff like that, but you can actually now take photos with the flash on your iPhone. So say for example, you know, I don't use it because I shoot, every single shoot I do now is tethered. So if someone wants a preview or a low res or something like that, I can just fire off a shot from the laptop. But if you're, say for example, you're not shooting tethered and you need to get a client a low res or a rough idea and your camera maybe not Wi-Fi enabled or something like that, you are able to fire up the Profoto app, take a picture with the flash, even including high-speed sync, which is ridiculous for your phone. But for me, I don't use the feature, but I know it's there in case you might find it useful. So let's come down here into the deepest, darkest Dingley Dell kind of area. I should say, as I work on location a lot, a good pair of boots is absolutely invaluable. These are new and they're actually surprisingly comfortable. So we're coming down. How's the view? So I'm going to talk about a couple of things that I absolutely now must have when I'm shooting out on location. Rocky Mountain legs or adjustable legs on lighting stands. Can you see that from where you are? Let's come. Can you see that if you kind of angle down? So basically it enables you to put light stands on quite extreme angles by extending the leg, and it basically means that the light stand can get straight. In addition to that, sandbags. Sandbag everything, because locations have a habit of suddenly becoming windy or suddenly there might be one gust, but guarantee it's when you've just got all your big modifiers up and everything is going to be suddenly incredibly windy. So I sandbag everything, and I tend to use stands with adjustable legs, including my new stand, which has got incredible off-road wheels. Careful, mind yourself. Ooh. There we go. Right. So I'm going to now I'm at a bit more of a level. Can you see that light just there? You can. Okay, cool. So we've got a B10 over there, and then we've got a B10 Plus here, and they are both with OCF Magnum reflectors, which basically are hyper efficient reflectors because of the pattern inside of them. So you get this amazing quality of light. When I quite often will fit a gel like a CTO or half CTO over one of the OCF Magnums if I want a fake sun. So fake direct sun, because it's a hard light, and so quite often I'll do that. So today we've not done that, but we have got both of them up, not really worrying too much about the power output, because I'm matching a 500 and a 250, but we're using low powers, and because the reflectors are so efficient, they actually double the output of the flash. So the B10 becomes the effective power of B10 Plus, and the B10 Plus effectively becomes a 1000 watt monolight. So it's quite clever. Again, mind your feet. So you might also notice that on the OCF Magnums we have got a black sand. Where's that roll of cinefoil? Now we've got a black roll of something called cinefoil, thank you, which I'm a huge fan of. I use it all the time. It is a black aluminium fabric roll. I don't know what it's black aluminium, basically matte black on both sides, and you can peel it, you can shape it, you can bend it, it'll hold its shape, you can clip it, you clamp it, all sorts of stuff. So if you have, for example, an area of light that you don't want to have affected, I tend to put like a bit of a cinefoil to stop extra spill going onto the floor or stuff like that, and we actually have it here flagged off, so we actually have it flagged off on the Magnums because they're very, very bright and they're very big output. Just because I'm going to be quite close, I don't want any flare coming into the lens, so we've flagged them off from the light hitting me. What else? Off-road wheels, big fan. Really don't have to talk about them, but for me, ridiculous purchase, but they're quite fun. I'm sure someone at this point has said, why aren't you using strip softboxes, or why aren't you using grids? The reason we are using the OCFs today, the Magnums, is because I just wanted the particular quality of light from the OCF. It is a very, very specular light, very bright, and a really lovely rim light or edge light. I can use these, and I've got the OCF 2, the grid set here, which is actually wildly clever. It uses all the magnets to fit the grids into it. And what's cool about these is you now clamp them onto the front, and then you can clamp the modifiers onto the front. So if you then need to run a gel, for example, inside of a softbox, you can just clamp that on and then clamp that onto the outside. So, but our setup today is pretty straightforward. You know, we've got the two cinefoiled OCF magnums. We've got the B10 and the B10 Plus, and then here we have a B10 Plus, which is with what is my favourite modifier that I've used pretty much for the past, since it came out. So I don't even know, maybe 7 or 8 years I've used this thing for, the 3-foot Octa, which is the RFI. And we have that gridded at the front because when we were doing some tests earlier, I realised there was a bit too much spill on the ground here. So I don't know if you want to come around. And so we've got this, we've got the soft grid on a, careful. There are logs everywhere here. So yeah, so we've got the soft grid on that light, and we've got that flattened off because obviously our model Tash is going to be doing her ballerinas poses on this tree stump. Now obviously she's going to be elevated up by 3 feet, so we've had to elevate everything else up by about 3 feet as well. So before I get onto what we've done there, we'll just talk about this. Again, you'll see sandbags on absolutely every stand because they are just the most important thing for me. And then up on this stand, we've got another B10 Plus, and we have the little OCF silver beauty dish with the sock on the front of it as well. So it's a lovely crisp but slightly diffused light, and it's a really nice key light. So we've got the key light here, which is our, obviously the main light is the key light, and then we've got the front fill. The joys of shooting by a road. So we've got a front fill here, which is kind of nice, soft, and but quite accurate because of the grid. And then we've got our slightly harsher rear lights, which are going to be our kickers, and they're hopefully just going to kind of highlight her a little bit from the background. We're using high-speed sync to drop the level of ambient here in the forest. Even though it's kind of dark anyway, we're just going to bring it in just to drop it down a little bit more. Because after, you know, they brought out an update to high-speed sync on the firmwares, which meant that you could use a lot of the lower powers as well. So it's you now can use high-speed sync a lot. So the wonderful Tash has just turned up. So we are going to get you up. Hello. How you doing? All right. Yes, perfect. So we're pretty much done for our introduction stuff. Do you want to come up and get in position? Again, please careful on the mud. Sorry. I've chosen like the worst, muddiest possible location. Okay, do you want to go round? It's probably going to be easiest if you go round that way. Quickly, before I move away from this spot, I will say that having now worked on location for years and years and years, one of the neatest, smallest bits of kit that I own is this grovel pad on the floor, which is basically a cordura wrapped piece of foam. So now when I kneel down on the ground, I have a lovely, clean, soft pad. Sounds incredibly diva-ish, but actually over the years of working on location, my knees are shot. So, hello. How's everything going? Oh, God. It's probably a little bit less clumsy than I am. So, what we're going to do is if we just jump you up on that platform.
I'll take my cut off at the very last minute if that's all right.
Yes, absolutely. And don't, yeah, perfect. Let's do that. And then I'm going to get down in location. How comfortable are you?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, is it all right? You've got a big, as I said on the phone, I think it's a big enough platform.
Yeah.
Cool, okay. So Sam, if you come over here, and can you take Tash's coat?
Yeah.
As and when? Right. So now everyone's on set. Obviously have to do the proper thing. We're outside, and there's about 4 meters in between us all, so shouldn't be too bad, but still, better to be safe than sorry. Okay, so with this stand down here is because Tash is elevated up by what, 3 or 4 foot, and then we're down in the kind of the dip there. We've had to put a grip head on what is already a very tall stand to get the light up to the same height that we want it to be. Really could have done with another thing, but you know, don't tend to have too many 15-meter stands. Up a little bit more maybe. Cool. Okay, right, is everything firing? Yep. Both of these going off? Yep. Cool, okay, right, so just looking straight at me. Okay. Right. Okay, so I shoot tethered into Capture One. Have done pretty much my entire career. Oh, hello, where's that gone? And yeah, I have everything organised by sessions, and it's a brilliant way of doing it. The nice thing about using Capture One with the Sony is I also have 2 cards in here. So when it shoots, backs up to both of these cards simultaneously, as well as then shooting to the laptop. So instantly, within taking the shot and it coming through onto the computer, there is instantly 3 photographs already backed up. So at the end of the shoot, I don't need to really worry. I can just take the card out, pop it in my pocket, everything's backed up. Okay, cool. Because we're incredibly efficient, and more so than I thought we were going to be, we're pretty much good to go. Yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over and we're going to have a very quick discussion about your pose. Is that all right? Yeah. Nice and comfy? Yeah. Okay, fine. Okay, cool. So this is going to be your key light. So basically what I'd like for you to do is kind of be at this angle or this angle most of the time. We do a few straight on down to me. I'm obviously going to be down there. But basically the bigger poses you can give me, obviously the better, but obviously within reason, because you are 4 foot up on a tree stump. Yeah. So if you can just kind of run me through a few different options, I'll just keep shooting. And then we're going to get your coat back on and get you warm again. Okay. Okay, right. So Sam, if you wouldn't mind grabbing Tasha's coat. God, I tell you, when we said, oh, you know, come behind the scenes, come on a shoot with me, I had no idea it would get this cold so quickly. So it is incredibly cold now. Okay, right. I am ready when you are. Yeah. And nicely. Cool. Okay. I'm. Same pose or different one? Same for the moment, but that was lovely. Yeah, I've noticed that. Sorry, Tash, hang on. Okay, and something kind of looking a bit more over towards this light? More that way. Yes, please. Pull off now. That beauty dish is in the shot, but I think it's easy enough to remove. Yeah. So if you look here, basically what we've got now on you know, what I'll do is I'll put this on the actual video so you can see a better quality of it. You can see Tash is now the only thing lit. We've got a bit of spill here, but to be honest, that's not the worst thing. But you can't see any of the rear lights. They're all hidden, and because it's such a dark background, this beauty dish, which is in the shot slightly, should be pretty easy just to get rid of it and kind of make it look a bit more like trees. So I think we'll just continue to shoot a few more things. When you, from a pose point of view, you're not comfortable going up.
I'll try. I'm just a little bit scared of falling off again. But
again, I'm not going to pressure you into doing anything you're not comfortable with.
I feel like I'm a bit shit if I don't.
Well, you know, from a photographic point of view, obviously it'd be wonderful. From a safety point of view, your safety is the priority. The photos could look terrible, but if you're safe.
Do like a 1, 2, 3 thing.
Yes, I can do that.
And I'll just go like 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, I can do that. Okay.
Do it.
Also, you know, are there? Obviously, I'm such a ballerina. I'm so delicate. But you know, things. If there's anything,
yeah.
Sure. But if you know, again, making sure you're comfortable.
Am I a massive pain if I ask you to take the rubber off?
Such a pain.
Is that going to be really annoying?
Oh my God, Tash.
I feel like it's just a bit like...
No problem, no problem. We'll get rid of it.
Sorry, what a
No,
diva.
well, no, that was just me trying to be clever.
No,
And
unfortunately... It was fine, and I thought but now I'm just a bit like, actually...
Okay, if you just... You're happy for me to come this close?
Yeah.
Right. So what I should probably say is, part of my toolkit, I never leave home without it, is you wouldn't believe how many times it's useful. And there we go. How's that? Sam, would you mind if I just gave you that? Oh, you've got the pot. Well, let's just lob them over there for the time being. Perfect, thank you. Right, that gives you a bit of a bigger platform.
Yeah.
Bit more comfortable.
Yeah.
Fine. Okay. Cool. So what we do then? What's going to be easiest? If I count you in 1, 2, 3, and then
1, 2, 3, and
Fine.
I'll kind of
Okay. Cool. Do you want to come down and have a quick look and see how they're looking, or are you all right?
It's probably a bit of a faff.
Tell you what, it's not, because I'm a man of many bits of equipment. We have a wireless review set up.
Oh, amazing. Oh, my tutu's so flat. It's because I've had it... that's better. It's sticky out there. Oh, I love how it looks. It looks
It's all right, isn't it?
Yeah, it looks really good.
Sam, can you zoom in on her body and face? So the lighting should hopefully look quite dramatic.
Yeah.
And you know, no harsh lines anywhere, and it's
amazing. Yeah.
But also, you've not really got much light coming, you know, because of the. Were you recording now? Yeah, because the cinefoil, it basically stops the light for hitting anywhere south of your feet, really.
Yeah. No,
So.
that looks brilliant.
Okay, brilliant. Well, listen, we'll continue.
More.
Approved. Is it approved?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Let's go. Cool. We'll bring that back for later. That is, in COVID times, having an iPad that you can move around. So we have the wonderful Tasha back here on the tree stump. Oh my God, I started to sound like a YouTube star. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So we've now removed the rubber on the base because it was feeling a little uncertain under her feet, and we are now going to shoot a few. So I'm going to count you in. So we are ready in 3, 2, 1, go.
Sorry.
No, it's all right. We don't want a ballerina with numb feet. Is probably the last thing. Let me just put that down there. Okay, ready when you are. Ready, 1, 2, 3. Okay, right, ready when you are. Okay, ready, 1, 2, 3. Lovely. Okay, ready when you are again. Ready, 1, 2, 3. Okay, ready when you are. Ready, 1, 2, 3. Okay, ready when you are. Ready, 1, 2, 3. Lovely. Okay, wonderful. If you can just look more towards me, chin up slightly. There we go, lovely stuff. Chin up a little bit more for me. Wonderful, look at that. Lovely. Okay, brilliant. Let's take a quick break. Yes, please, Sam, thank you. Just drop that camera in there. I tend to not want to put my camera on the floor, so I have a little clip here that goes into the quick release. This is a Kirk bracket, I think. I find shooting, even on location, tethered, is just the best way for me to just instantly check that everything's going to be all right. I'm going to be happy. I know that when I get back into the edit suite in the office, that this is going to look as, you know, the screens are calibrated. I use the same presets on all my machines, so I know that what I get here is what I'm going to see when I get back into the office. So Tash, what I would love is you did one, this is where I get really delicate, you did one that was kind of like that, with your hands on your hips, with your legs slightly crossed, both on tippy toes. We do a couple more like that. Perfect. And then maybe for this one, instead of looking towards the camera, if you could maybe look at the top of this light. Yes, please. Yeah, just look there for me. Yeah, I think that's going to be great. Thank you. Okay. Okay, Sam, would you mind just jumping on focus for me? Okay, right. I am ready when you are. Ready? 3, 1, 2, 3. So we're just going to take a quick break. And what we'll do now is, I think that's probably enough of this setup. So we're going to do a clever transition, and you're going to join us about 10 feet down over that way, which is going to be the second setup, which is going to be the close-up. Well, might go a bit wider, but then there'll be a close-up as well, and that's going to be with the tree roots that are going up the tree. So join me in, well, now. We were originally going to shoot further in on the into the woods. A footwear issue. Obviously, they're very lovely ballet shoes. We couldn't obviously take her in there because there's fresh mud and stuff like that. So we have decided to create a underleaf pad using my grovel pad that you saw earlier in the video. So you are now stood on an incredibly comfortable padded surface, which you wouldn't know, because you can always on location hide things like this. Leaves, dirt, little mounds. It's all about line of sight. So what we've done is we've put some dry leaves, sort of the driest we could find, on this pad to then hide it. So now it looks like she's just stood in the leaves, when in fact she is now on a dry surface and everything's good. Okay, right. Perfect. Let's have a look at that. Okay, and then looking up at the light for me. Okay, I'm going to. How much have I got? Okay, and on to the next pose.
Sorry, it's a bit hard.
No, it's all right. Lovely. And then looking over the light for me. Can you spin your body a little bit that way if you can? Wonderful. Lovely. And relax. Ah, yes. Okay. Tash, with your leg, when you were doing that, it looks like it just stops at your knee.
Okay.
So, yeah, if that's all right. Okay, wonderful. Cool, and relax, sorry.
What do you think of that shot, Tom?
Yeah, I'm very pleased. Very pleased. The problem is when you're shooting with absolutely huge files, they sometimes can take a little bit of time to come through. There we go, that's the one I was after. So what we've done with the lighting is we've effectively created like almost a natural vignette by using kind of the focus. So we've got the beauty dish, which is about a 50-degree spread of light, and then we've got the RFI 3-foot octa with the grid on the front as well. Really narrow the field of light down so the light's not kind of flying everywhere. I think we're probably all right for this shot. Cool. So super happy with what obviously we've got today. The wonderful Tash has been amazing, really, kind of working in difficult conditions, I think is probably the best way to say it. What we're going to do now is we're going to wrap up, get her back warm, get her on the road, and we're now obviously going to pack everything down. So I'm going to hang around now on the live chat, wherever it is, and answer any questions whatsoever that you've got about anything you've seen in this video. Thank you to Brendan for filming it. Thank you to Sam for obviously the wonderful assisting. Thanks for Profoto for making stuff that I use on a daily basis, and thanks to AJ for selling it to me. Basically, yeah, if you guys want to check me out on Instagram, it's tombarnes.com, which is DOTCOM at the end, tombarnes.com for the website. And then any questions, I'm just going to hang around here, so we'll let some lift music or something play out while I answer all your questions. But thank you so much for giving me your time and checking this out. Yeah, I hope you found it useful.